Nice and cool this morning. Windy. The winter here is my favorite time of year. I like to go on people's Instagrams of people I follow, or maybe that follow me, but I don't know them, and just start talking like I've always been around. Like, hey, but act like I'm an old friend. I do some weird stuff. I was thinking yesterday about a bit how I was talking about mathematics. I think I was on my walk here. And mathematics are almost a bit like super glue. They stick the illusory sort of realm we live in here. They kind of stick it together. It hardens the cement on the reality around us that's mostly illusion. When you apply mathematics to it, it's almost like scaffolding, where it kind of goes around it and holds it together and makes it seemingly more real, even though it's not. And you see that all the time. Any kind of scientific study, any kind of percentages graph, where there'll be something conceptually like, oh, we think a large amount of people do this, or I believe in that, and then they'll do some kind of study or some kind of tally, applying numbers to it, and then at that point, it makes what's kind of real or not real at all seem incredibly real to people, because there's something with that with numbers that makes it more legit, I guess. Yeah, this is a awesome day here, but it's not good or bad, the way mathematics work. It's just another tool in the toolbox of trying to convince you that everything around you is absolutely real and should be taken very seriously, when most of the time it shouldn't. And the reason it does that is to elicit emotional responses, like a fear response, anxiety. It creates some kind of emotion, which then actually is used to run the machine, and whatever is siphoned off to feed those that feed off that, and it's like a farm, kind of. Well, it's a farm in many ways. And the control, when they try to get Group A to do something, or they try to get more people in the cities or whatever it is, it's just like a farmer would control his cows. He's got a bunch of cows. It's more economical for him to keep them in one place where he can better have control over them. It uses less resources to, in the case of just trying to get people to, for example, live in a city, and these new smart cities that they talk about, which is basically the stack and pack, you're all going to live in the pod and like it type of thing. Stack and pack is basically when these big buildings they have, which are more like dorms, and they're going to just put people living on top of one another. And most of these people are going to be fine with that. Whatever. I wouldn't be, but the sad thing is, the more you really look into it and research in this field, the more you find that people will happily eat the bugs. They will live in the fucking pod, and they will have nothing and they'll like it, which leads back again to the apple thing, what the fuck was I calling it yesterday? I had a good name for it. the I don't know, the apple in the brain thing where they can't visualize the apple. Those people are gonna just go right along with it. They won't like it, but they won't dislike it. They'll just do whatever, you see that already. People will do literally whatever the TV tells them to. But, and that goes back to the Apple visualization thing. It's like, well, what are these fucking bipedal things walking around us that we've always thought were people? Because you can't visualize, you can't create. You don't have any divinity. If you don't have any divinity, you don't have any soul. You're an organic portal that's kind of just what is that? That's frightening. And I try not to think about that when I walk around a street where there's like a ton of people on it. Because it'll freak you out. Or it freaks me out. So it's like, what the fuck? But, on the plus side, when you don't have independent thought, you're not really a threat. So, I mean, you can shake your keys and get a bunch of them to go over somewhere and look at something. It happens all the time. But it's kind of a quantum issue. If you go into a store and you're looking to buy soap or laundry detergent, and you have it in your mind, you might even have the aisle it's in your mind, and you're thinking about it, you think laundry detergent. When you get there, there'll be 10 other motherfuckers looking for the same box of laundry detergent you are. Not all the time, but a lot of time. It's tangentially related to when you fucking go to a empty parking lot and you pull your car into it and some motherfucker pulls up so close to you, you can't open your door. It's when you focus on a point, the point becomes like a blip on a radar screen. And I used to wonder how that happened. Like, why does that happen? And I mean, we've seen that in, quantum experimentation at the atomic level, where where the atom thinks it's being viewed, even if you're measuring it, it won't move. It'll only move when it's not being looked at. It's really crazy. But I think it's like that. But then you start to think like, well, why does that happen with other people, like with humans? And then once you start to apply the Apple thing to it, you're like, oh yeah, they're not like me. I mean, I don't know if I'd call myself human. That's what they call us, and that's what I've always been told I am. But and we've always been told like we're all human, we're all the same. Even though like if a bird has a red feather on his right foot instead of on his left foot, he's a whole different species. Like, oh, that's a red-tailed swallow. Well, that's clearly a Chinese-tailed swallow. It's like, well, I don't look anything like an Aborigine from Australia. How are we exactly the same thing? Well, we're not. I mean, even down to biology, very, very different. But they can't say that because then that hurts what they're that hurts their whole grips. To keep things destabilized, you got to put people together who are very different. If you can't speak your neighbor's language, that's not a strength. That's a weakness. You know what I mean? If you have a completely different tradition, a completely different culture, a completely different morality, how is that a strength to have that guy living next to you? It's not. It's clearly not. People thrive when they're among their own kind. I mean, you can't say that because then it's like, that's segregation. It's like, yeah. The only fucking segregation people still have is that fucking stick that you can put on the belt when you're in the supermarket. And I use that because it makes you feel good. So I'm like, oh, this is all we have left. This is it. Sun's starting to come up here. Slowly, but surely. This fucking building over here is awesome. They have, it's kind of like my bedroom, man. Like every day it's a different shade of purple. Like it'll go from light pink to a deep purple. And in front of it, like where this little, where these bushes are, there's these little stones. Like, you know, stepping stones, what the fuck they're called. And they each represent each color of the different color that it turns. So it starts with the light pink. I'll walk over there someday. It's pretty cool. I see a lot of people on Instagram, they take pictures of that sign there too. There's a lot of like little spots here where they're like photo op kind of spots that people always go to take pictures. There's a lot of those here. This place is cool. I buy jewelry over here. If you walk through this, you go over there, there's like a ton of little huts like this one. And yeah, this is where I get my rings and cool bracelets and accoutrement. ABC store, good thing we got one of those. You know, you don't see many of them. Again, trying to, I think it was yesterday, I was talking about CERN. The endless enigma of what exactly they're trying to accomplish. It's not just one thing. I mean, they've kind of muddied the waters themselves, of course. The Mandela effect, I believe, is tied to it. I just don't know if it was, I think it was accidental. I mean, I don't think they set out to make all these changes. Unless they were testing it and tried to do little things, like change stuff from movies, and then they moved on to bigger things, like, you know, moving South America and Australia. I don't know. I just don't. It's not an area of study I'm all that interested in. It's another one of those side quests. Like you're going up the sort of truth rope, you know, you're going up like that. Anytime you're not going like this, you're not really learning anything. And CERN is just one of these things where like, oh, CERN, and then you go sideways. Horizontal, you're not going to get anything, just like power and truth is very much the same way. Truth moves vertically. Higher truth, higher up there. You're never going to get truth side to side. I do sometimes indulge in that kind of shit though, just because it's interesting. And if you're going to do it for like a hobby or something, I mean, that's fine. But you don't want to sink too much time into trying to figure out why NASA, why all the NASA shuttles are made out of helium. You know, I mean, well, you know why it's a bad example. But you know what I mean? You can discover every secret you need to know about NASA for the most part, of why they do what they do. And it's not really going to help your own truth. The thing is, right, truth and learning, it's not out there. It's not outside your body. And this sounds very woo-woo, but it's inside your body. It's everything you want to know. It's coded information on every piece of DNA, and all your DNA in your body. Your cell, like a cell that comes off your finger, has all the information you need to know. So when you get cut, you're dropping dictionaries full of stuff. But no, that's what it is. So it's not about learning, it's about recalling. And I was talking to someone about that the other day, about recall, like you do on a computer. And sometimes the obvious things escape me. And I'm like, oh, recall, like when you try to recall something. I recall, yeah. There's a lot in words. Words give the whole game away, really, if you know what you're looking for. But yeah, so how do you access that stuff? meditation, I can't meditate. With me, it just kind of comes up if I think about it. Like I'll be thinking about something, and it happens all the time. Something that I don't really have any knowledge of, or frontal brain knowledge, or awareness that I had knowledge of. And I'd be like, oh yeah, that's this and that. Not like cities and names of places or trivia stuff, but situations, or and they can be very complex. And I'll be like, oh well, what's happening here is this, this, and that. And I'll just keep rolling with the conversation. When this first started happening to me, where I noticed it a couple years ago, where I was really thinking about, where I was making notations in my mind that was happening, I was like, am I just making shit up on the spot? Why am I doing that? That's retarded. But it would turn out to be right. I was right. So it was like I was tapping into, what a lot of us kind of call the universal consciousness, or God, or the cloud, the library, where all the information is there. You're constantly putting into it and you're taking out of it. I believe this is why you have these child prodigies that can play Beethoven's Fifth when they're 7 years old. It's like, that's not possible. Well, it is if they just got that information out of the cloud. I don't know the mechanics of that, how that happens. Lately, I've been trying to tie it to sleep. I think it may have something to do with that, because I'm still not 100% convinced that we sleep because we're tired. That doesn't seem to make sense given the way our bodies run and all the systems that we have that just work in perpetuity. Like, yeah, I've been watching TV for 16 hours, man. I gotta shut down. Yeah, I watched the whole marathon of the fucking honeymooners. Glorious results of a misspent youth. That's where that line comes from. I did actually, I did a review of that album yesterday. Because I like to pepper this kind of shit with nonsense stuff so that I guess I don't go insane. But I don't think I'm gonna, I don't think that if that was gonna happen, it would have happened a long time ago. Maybe it did, I'm just like post-insane. Post-toasties insane. So yeah, that was that was fun to do. I'm trying to do a lot more of those. I've done some Duran Duran stuff. I'm going to do some stuff from the Damned. The bands I like, or whatever I'm listening to at the moment. The Joan Jett thing is weird, because sometimes when you do this kind of stuff, when you're doing like stuff that doesn't have anything to do with this, sometimes this shit will creep into that stuff. And that was the case with the Joan Jett situation. She kind of has a character in her life that kind of manipulated her and kind of took control of her life using Talmudic magic. You try to be as careful as I can. And but he wants to be the star, right? He's always popping in, and he's in every interview. I was watching a movie the other day, supposed to be a documentary about her. 10 minutes in, he just pops in to give her a cigarette. It's like, I didn't realize she smoked, And he's just looking at the camera, hey everybody. It's like, no one cares about you. We're not here to. And then it veers into the story of him. And his career in fucking bubblegum music. Like, anyone's asked about that shit. And he's talked about from other people that are may also indulge in Talmudic magic, and they're like, yeah, he was the king of bubblegum music. So I'm a good researcher. I did it as part of a job for 30 plus years, working for my dad. And before the internet, we'd go into the town hall, and this fucking vault that looked like where they stored the ark, and we'd have to pull these giant books out of there that at the time, not to get too sideways, but at the time I didn't think, why are these books so giant? Who are they made for? I'd just pull these things out, with the help of someone else, and would open the big books and would look through all the information. We were looking mainly for title rights, like who owned what land, because we were civil engineers. It's another one of those things that you didn't see because the veil was fully in place. Now that it's falling down, it's coming down, and it's not coming fast enough for my liking. You would look at that and be like, why are these books so fucking huge? Who are the people that, why would they make them so big? It didn't make sense, but now it does. So anyway, getting back to that thing, yeah, it kind of turns into his thing. And the problem is her whole career's like that. So going through her albums, it's like you've got the good songs that she writes, and he has to get credit for every song that she writes. And you can tell her songs because her influence is punk rock and glam. You compare the songs she did with the Runaways to some of the stuff she does on these solo